Hi you guys, I just wanted to film a real quick pregnancy update for you. Right now I am 23 weeks pregnant as of this past Saturday, and that makes me officially 5 months along, which I am so grateful for. I cannot wait until September for this little guy to come out and to get my body back. I love babies, I love having children, I don't love being pregnant. It's kind of like a 9-month trial of patience before you get to the good part. So there has been a lot going on. I had mentioned in my last video, I believe I mentioned this, that I've been having some major hip pain problems where I've been having a lot of trouble walking. Well, I went to my doctor, I talked to her, and she said that to get anything done at all, that I would have to go and talk to my family doctor, and then he might, if there was anyone who would be willing in our area to deal with pregnant women, might be able to refer me to like a physical therapist. My doctor he's a great guy, but he's not great with like physical things, pregnancy, anything like that. He's an internist. If I have kidney stone issues, you know, anything like that, he's great. But for stuff like this, it's kind of pointless to even try and go. So I did a lot of research, and most of the research I found came from websites in the UK and Britain and things like that. And I basically found out what a physical therapist would have me do anyway. So I'm taking care of it myself at home. Basically what I have is called pelvic girdle pain, which is where your ligaments in your pelvis stretch way, way, way too much because of the hormone relaxin that's in your system when you're pregnant. First day of pregnancy is no problem. No pain, no nothing. I was good. This one, a couple of years ago, I fell on ice and injured my back, and I'm guessing that something in my pelvis got whacked out of alignment, and that's what's causing the issue now. So some things I'm doing are some physical therapy type exercises. I have a giant exercise ball that I like to use for some of those. Others are done on the floor, or I can just do laying in bed. They're mostly core, butt, lower legs, things like that type exercises, plus walking. Now the problem was that walking was incredibly, incredibly painful, more than a few steps. So I did some more research, and I invested in something called a Sacroiliac Belt. Your sacroiliac is that triangle shaped piece of bone that basically holds your two hips together at the back that your tailbone comes off of. Not trying to get too technical on you guys, but basically this belt cinches around my hips. It doesn't affect baby at all. It doesn't harm baby. It's lower than where the baby's at right now. And it basically squishes my hips together and holds me in place so that my joints don't overly separate and I don't get in a lot of pain, which means I can go on walks now, I can go out shopping. I still can't push it too far, more than about a couple hours of being in and out of the car and shopping and things like that, and I'm pretty much done. Like yesterday, we were pretty much out all day long because we were having car issues. I'm not even getting into that right now because it's driving me up a wall. I am super duper stressed with that today. We were out and walking a lot, so I'm in a somewhat decent amount of pain today, but not too bad. But wearing this belt really, really makes it possible for me to walk. The one I got is on Amazon, and it's called the Serola Belt. It's by Serola Biomechanics, and I found it through looking at a lot of forums and a lot of blogs from different physiotherapists, actual registered physiotherapists, to see what they recommended. And I went on forums to see, okay, what did your physical therapist put you in? And 9 times out of 10, it was usually this belt. So that's what I got. I'm going to show it to you guys. Okay guys, so this is my snazzy belt. Don't mind my lovely pajama pants here. The one bad thing about this belt is it gives you some fabulous muffin top. I mean, this is just fantastic here. So that is one thing I have to deal with. But this belt is really nice. It just velcros in the front, and then I have these two little side wings that pop off. They're elastic, and they can be used to tighten the belt as tight as I need. So that's what it looks like, and that's where it sits. And this is how big I am at 5 months along. That belt pretty much makes it possible for me to walk and function like a normal human being, because otherwise at this point I would be in bed most of the time because my hips are just not having it. So the faster we get to September, the better in my opinion right now. Other than that, that's really the only major issue I've been having right now. Oh, other than my blood sugar, I'm hypoglycemic. It's just something that runs in our family. It's something I've always had to deal with. It does get worse during pregnancy. I've never had gestational diabetes or any of those other issues. I was doing fine the first trimester, a little bit into the second, but now I'm at the point where if I don't eat every couple of hours, I get nauseous, I get sweaty, I get dizzy, and I can't think straight. So I've actually set alarms on my phone to go off every 2 hours to remind me to eat something. Like this alarm, that was perfectly coincidental timing. And it says, first lunch, I don't care if you're not hungry, baby needs to eat. And I have different reminders like that all throughout my day to remind me to constantly be putting something in my body so I don't have that crazy blood sugar crash and feel like death, basically. Things are rolling along as normal otherwise, other than the hips and the blood sugar issues, which really is kind of a lot right now. But baby is growing exactly as he should be. I have my next appointment in 4 weeks in the middle of June, and shortly after that I should be getting my gestational diabetes test done, which I hate that test because I have to drink this orange stuff called glucola, and it tastes terrible and it makes me sick almost nearly every single time. I'm basically, you know, curled up in the corner of the waiting room at the doctor's office in the fetal position, just waiting to go home at that point. But that's not for a few weeks. And I should also be getting another ultrasound at 28 weeks just to measure the baby's growth, because with one of my other kids, we had a little bit of a growth issue with him, and I was put on modified bed rest and had to have a milkshake every single day. My doctor put me on the milkshake diet. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen this time because everything feels like it's going along as normal. Right now I'm up to 132 pounds, which is really good. It means I've gained 5 pounds since the pregnancy began, which is not a lot, but remember I was about 10 pounds over my normal weight to begin with. So a lot of the maternal fat stores, things like that, are already there. And of course, my doctor's not worried about it. If she was, you know, I would be doing everything I can to put on more weight. And like I said, I'm already eating several times a day, probably 6 to 8 times a day minimum. And I don't eat like super healthy when I'm pregnant. I mean, that's what I've been craving, but I've been making sure to add as much cheese, protein, meats, ranch dressing to like everything, just to make sure that even while I'm only craving things like, you know, vegetables and salads and stuff, that I'm also getting in a lot of extra calories, because I can only fit so much food in me at one time. And of course, we went to Olive Garden the other day and I had lasagna frita for lunch, which is like 1,000 calories. So that's amazing. It's either really healthy that I'm going for, or really bad for me. So I think that's pretty much it. There hasn't been a lot going on other than just the daily fight of how far am I going to be able to walk today? Can I function? Make sure I don't bend or twist funny. I have to be careful getting in and out of bed, getting in and out of cars, things like that. I'm not supposed to be vacuuming, pushing shopping carts, doing anything that puts a lot of pressure on one side or the other of my pelvis. So most of my day tends to revolve around what I'm doing with my body, where it is located, what I'm doing, and making sure I don't slip into habits that could potentially make this situation way, way, way worse. Because I'm trying to keep it as under control as possible, because I don't want to, after the baby is born, have to fight to function normally again. I want to be able to heal normally. And there's a lot of things you can do during pregnancy that can make pelvic girdle pain way, way worse and actually cause it to be a problem for a few months after you give birth. So that's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to do as much preventative fixes and maintenance on myself as possible to make sure that I can bounce back into health, not necessarily shape, but health as quickly as possible after the baby is born. So that's what we've got going on right now. I've been doing every week to every couple of weeks on my blog, which is joannabrooks.net. I've also been doing a little pregnancy questionnaire thing, so if you want to go there and check it out, I will probably have that up later today or tomorrow. If it's not up right away, it will be there soon. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, comments, if you're going through the same thing, I would love to hear about it. Just feel free to talk to me down in the comments below or catch up with me on one of the social channels. You guys know I have my website, joannabrooks.net, which is fully set up for comments and talking to me. You can also talk with me on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook. I'm on all of those constantly. I'm probably on Twitter and Instagram the most. So if you really want to catch me, those are the best places to catch me, are Twitter and Instagram. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, I would love it so much if you guys would subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye.